àbí kí n dákẹ́jẹ́.
Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́kàkẹ́ àbí ohun àgbogbo.
Ilé tó bá wà lóhùn bá kí ìyá jẹ́ wá. Ọmọ òpè tí mo fẹ́ forin fọ́ gbàyànjà wáráyé. Ìṣọ̀kan òsín mọ́ làwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ó dé. Àmúfin ẹ̀rù ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ káwọn sàǹdẹ̀ wọn. Ìwọ̀jà lẹ́yìn tí pọ̀ jù ó yẹ ìdílé jáwọ́. Ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ò lè láti kọ̀ọ̀kan bí wọ́n ṣe pè ìgbọ́dọ̀. Ẹni bá dàgbà Yorùbá kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ làlẹ́ yìí. Máa ń sojú ojú tí wọn kó da kókòrò létí pẹ́. Ẹnu ọmọ Yorùbá kì í kó sí nǹkan rere. Pẹ̀tẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ tí mo bá na nípa ẹni tó bá bá bóyá ìyá kó lọ tuntun sí. Torí pé ọ̀rọ̀ sì ń bọ̀ ó lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe jáde àbí ìpínlẹ̀ síwájú.
Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́kàkẹ́ àbí ohun àgbogbo.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe jáde àbí ìpínlẹ̀ síwájú.
Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́kàkẹ́ àbí ohun àgbogbo.
Ọmọ mẹ́ta ni mo kàn tó ń ja Yorùbá. Òyìn ní Simọ̀tù Abíọ́lá ẹ̀jẹ̀ tètè ìfòdìsọ. Ẹ̀sìn àjèjì pẹ̀lú òṣèlú Áfíríkà máa ta fúnra wa. Òjò ní èdè òjò ẹ̀yìn Yorùbá ń bá ká. Tó bá dọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú wọn kì í pọn ọmọ ìyá wọn. Táwọn sábà sọ pé lọ́la náà lájẹ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá náà dalẹ̀ tó dalẹ̀ ara wọn. Ẹ̀sìn àjèjì òjò jẹ́ kẹ́nu wọn lè kó rárá mọ́. Mùsùlùmí pẹ̀lẹ́ lẹ́sìn Kírísítẹ́nì ẹ̀ súnmọ́ bí. Ẹ̀sìn ò sọ pé kágbàgbé orísun ìran wa. Jẹ́ kí n máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ bí kì í dákẹ́ jẹ́.
Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́kàkẹ́ àbí ohun àgbogbo.
Jẹ́ kí n máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ní àbí kì í dákẹ́ fẹ́.
Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́kàkẹ́ àbí ohun àgbogbo.
Ó ti yá alágbogbo kì í bá.
Àgbogbo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lẹ́nu gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere.
Alága Ìsìmọ̀tù Abíọ́lá. Paramount kìlọ̀ fún àkànní ní gbogbo US pátápátá. Yóò sọ pé alágbogbo kì í bá.
Àgbogbo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lẹ́nu gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere.
Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ìyáǹde àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ bí. Ìyáǹde àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́. Ebi ń pa àwọn ya tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́. Ìyáǹde àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ bí. Ìyáǹde àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ ní. Ebi ń pa àwọn ya tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́. Torí pé kẹ́ àti ẹ̀kọ́ tẹ́ ẹ ní. Ẹ ò lè jẹ́ kí ẹ̀kọ́ nítorí. Fúlàní yìí fi máa lùjọpọ̀ sí ajá. Kàkà kẹgbà rọ́pọ̀jọ fi inú yín.
24/7.
Ẹwọ́ solutions ní fúnra yín. Ẹ̀wọ́ dìgítà ẹ̀kọ́ tí ikú. Ó ti wá dọ̀rùn òkú wọlé bọ̀ o. Alágbogbo lù kí n gbọ́.
Àgbogbo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lẹ́nu gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere.
Ọmọ pẹ̀lú alágbogbo lù kó wọ́n ti.
Àgbogbo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lẹ́nu gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere.
Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti wá pọ̀ jù pọ̀tẹ́ rí. Fúlàní ti ń jalè àwọn dúkìá wọn. Wọ́n ti ń papà ju alẹ́mọdé. Wọ́n ti ń papà ju alákọ̀ọ́fẹ́. Wọ́n ti ń papà ju aláyàgbé. Wọ́n ní kọ́tẹ́tì lọ́wọ́ owó wá. Ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wọ́n máa pa àwọn tí wọ́n jí gbé. Yorùbá ò sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n wéwòrán wọn. Lójúmọ́ ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kiri lágbègbè wa. Ìjọba ò sí ètò owó ìmúṣe. Nítorí òṣèlú ṣẹráyé ibi. Yorùbá ń jìyà lórílẹ̀ wọn. Àwọn olónílẹ̀ wọn wá ń ṣẹ́rú. Àsìkò ti tó ẹ̀dùnkè ká gbára wa. Ó ti yá alágbogbo dùn kí n gbọ́.
Àgbogbo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lẹ́nu gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere.
Gbogbo àwọn tó ti sùn ẹ̀ lágbogbo fún wọn kí wọ́n jí. Ó ti yá alágbogbo dùn kí n gbọ́.
Àgbogbo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lẹ́nu gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere.
Fúlàní ń dẹran joko tí a dá. Bàbá tún sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe náà fàkọ́yọ́. Àgàgà tẹ́fẹ́ ti ẹ̀fà gbófinró. Gbogbo forí òjìyà ajẹ́wọ́ ẹ̀yà. Lòtítọ́ lẹ́tùtù ó yẹ kí èdè. Ó tó ti gbọ́pọ̀ òkúta orókọ́. Nígboro ìkànbọ̀n ẹ̀wò tí ojú rí. Ìgbàrà gbọ́dọ̀ àpapọ̀ ẹ̀wò tí ojú rí. Fúlàní ti tẹ̀mí ìṣòfò kan ó ti tó gẹ́. Ẹ̀wò kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan tí a gbọ́.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Sọ̀rọ̀ bí kò ti jẹ́ náà. Níṣẹ́ ni wọ́n nígbà yẹn sí àwọn rẹ̀ ní.
We're just about to kickstart. It's just about to kickstart. And I say good evening, and welcome again to Niger Voices on Star Radio UK.
Tí alákòókò kì í gbọ́ agogo ìkànnì ẹ má gbọ́ bá a ṣe ń fọ́ rere. Ìwé ní símọ̀ jù àbákẹ́ paramount green of waka o. Alákòókò kì í gbọ́ agogo ìkànnì ẹ má gbọ́ bá a ṣe ń fọ́ rere.
We couldn't have done this without my producer that is working tirelessly behind the scene and all the sound engineer to make sure that everything is going according to plan. This time last week, we were at the Nigerian High Commission while we were doing the NSAS memorial. But we're back again in the studio, and it's good to be back again in the studio. Why is the Beninese, why are they still holding Chief Sunday at the Yemo Igbowo Sha? We're going to be discussing all that. What is happening in Southwest in your state? Jailbreak. Have you heard about it? We're going to be discussing all that this evening. 2023 is fast approaching. Anambra, what is going to be happening on the 7th of November? The 6th of November. IPOP say there will not be election. Federal government say election must hold. I say good evening and welcome to your favorite Niger Voices on Star Radio UK. I say good evening, good morning in some places. And if you're watching us from the space, I say welcome to Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. This program comes to you every Wednesday from 6 p.m. We look at what is happening in Nigeria in context. We look at what is happening to the Nigerians in diaspora. We look at those that also say enough is enough. That is where my position stands. Not literally the position of Star Radio UK. And that's the beauty of the kind of world that we are living. The organization might disagree with me in terms of disintegration out of Nigeria. You know, my producer might say, I'm sure we can fix Nigeria. I said, nah, we can't fix Nigeria. It's too late to fix Nigeria. Afeni Ferry said we can restructure Nigeria, and it has to be restructured before 2023. Time check is exactly 13 minutes past 6 p.m. I say good evening as you're joining us. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. For those of you watching us from different parts of the globe, I say welcome. We've been doing this program for the last 4 years. We've traveled different places to bring the broadcast to you from outside. This time last week, we were bringing the broadcast from the Nigerian High Commission at number 9 Northumberland, so that we can remember those that was killed by the same government. A lot of Nigerians were wondering, is it possible to have the Nigerian flag, sing the Nigerian national anthem, and then be shot at? That was what happened last year, October 20, at the Lekki toll gate. A lot of Nigerians are still bitter that they were not even allowed to do the memorial to remember those that were killed, injured. And this evening, I'll be looking at so many areas. And if you've just joined us, like my producer always say in the morning, sometimes it could be bumpy. We're going to look at the news coming out of Nigeria this particular evening. What are the headlines? We're going to be touching it from different parts of the globe. What are the international community, saying about Nigeria today? If you're watching us on different platforms, you can also remember to follow us on Twitter on Star Radio UK. We are also live on YouTube, Star Radio UK. Remember to make sure you subscribe. Is Nigeria facing a very difficult time? the founding fathers must have realized that at some point things will not hold together. And that is exactly what is playing out in Nigeria right now. Once again, to my engineer, my producer, and all the Star Radio UK presenters. Tomorrow you can join the Property Hours. Why is Nigeria not working? Why are we having problems in Nigeria today? Is it leadership? What went wrong? 61 years. And it doesn't seem to be working. What went wrong in Nigeria? Can it be fixed? Do you think we can fix the problem in Nigeria? I would like to say good evening to those of you that are watching us on Star Radio UK. Karim Abdurrahman, good evening. Kilani Sulaiman, good evening. This is Niger Voices. Jailbreak. What do you understand by jailbreak? If somebody said to you, it's not a movie. If somebody said to you, jailbreak, what will you understand by that? We've seen jailbreak in the southeast of the country. We've seen it in different parts of the country. But this time around, it has happened right in the southwest. What do you understand by the word jailbreak? This is Star Radio UK.
This is Star Radio UK.
If you've just joined us, I welcome you once again to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me give you the quote of the day. The foundation of any successful relationship between two individuals is their understanding of each other and the knowledge that they have something in common. Before I go further, is the month of October is a special month to different people. And I'm going to use this opportunity to say happy birthday to my sister, my younger sister. If you're watching me at home, I say happy birthday to you. We wish you a very good health, long life. And same goes to everyone celebrating their birthday in the month of October. We already celebrate our father, Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, at just about the second week of October. But he's still being held in Benin Republic. Why? Why do you think Nigerians, the Nigerian government, the Benin government are holding Chief Sunday Igboho? Just put that in the comment and then I'm going to be looking at that. Why do you think they're holding him? What is his offense for holding him? What offense has he committed? Why is Chief Sunday Adeyemo 3 months after he was making his way to Germany and was stopped? He hasn't committed any crime. I'm sure some of you have listened to what the Oni of Ife said. What do you think about it? We told him to be patient. We told him to take it easy, because that was what I told President Muhammadu Buhari. I mean, that's not me. I'm just, this is what the Oni of Ife said in that interview he granted. I went to see the president. We discussed about Chief Sunday Igboho. He probably asked, who is he? I said, well, he's fighting because Fulani are disturbing us in the southwest. The president, I'm just trying to make this up now. The president is like, okay, so what has that got to do with him? This is the job of the federal government, the security apparatus in the country. As a citizen, he has no right to chase after, the terrorists in the Yoruba land. The Oni will probably say, yeah, but, he's done it already. My question then is, did our Kabiesi ask the president while they invaded his house on the 1st of July in an attempt to kill him. Or maybe that conversation did not prop up. Because in a civilized society, you would have expected the federal government of Nigeria to go through the normal route. And what I mean by the normal route is to make sure that they can pin him down by giving him that option to pay him a visit during the broad daylight with a search warrant. But rather, they invaded his house at about 1:30 a.m. while people were sleeping. 2 people were killed. I'm not sure whether our KBAC was able to ask the president that 2 people got killed during that mission that failed. They couldn't kill Chief Sunday Igboho, but they killed 2 people. 5 cats were killed. 1 was taken away. The bodies of those that were killed, as we speak right now, is nowhere to be found. We don't know where the bodies are. But KBAC was able to tell us that, look, we told him to be patient. There were so many people that were talking to him, and he was just not listening. He was even abusing us. But he's our son. We've forgiven him. So we've moved on. But he's stuck in Benin. But we are doing everything to get him out. Really? How does that add up together? How does that add up? Somebody that the federal government was being told that we've told him to keep quiet. It's not his job to run after the terrorist. The same terrorist now have escaped from the prison that it was kept. And I'm sure you know that that terrorist I'm talking about. Jailbreak Oyo State. What do you understand by jailbreak? More than 800 prisoners are nowhere to be found. Are you worried? Are you scared? I can see you there, my brother, Oluwaseun. I'm not going to mention the rest of the name. I hope you got my WhatsApp message. It's been a while. How's the family doing? And same goes to every one of you watching on Instagram and every part of the globe. My question is, Chief Sunday Igboho was running after those that were killing us. Our king, our royal father, the Oni of Ife, the Ojaja II, had opportunity to sit down with President Muhammadu Buhari, dead or alive, I don't care. And the question I would have been asking President is, what went wrong? Why did you send, or maybe the meeting was held before July 1st. I don't even know when the meeting was held. Was it before or after? But something went wrong within the Yoruba land, and that means we can no longer travel freely. As I speak to you, on Sunday, 4 individuals were taken away from Ogun State. We don't know whether they are still alive or they are dead. Or maybe they've been able to pay ransom. Is KBAC communicating this message back to the Fulani president that we have? What is your take on that? Jailbreak. 575 prisoners, as I speak to you right now, are missing. Are you worried? Okay, somebody said the meeting must have been held before July 1st. Okay. So when that meeting failed, then the next option was, since he was not listening to anybody, he's not going to listen to the monarch, he's not going to listen to the traditional rulers. Chief Sunday Igboho was just not listening according to our father, the Oni of Ife. And his house was eventually invaded. We can only say thank you very much to those of you that have stood very close to this development. As I was coming into the studio, my last call that came through was, what What is going on in Benin Republic? Why are they still holding Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho? This is
Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
It is Starr Radio UK. After 114 days, Ifeoluwa, popularly known as Lady K, and Jamiu Noah, I know him as well as Oladele, have now been released. 114 days being kept as a criminal, as a terrorist. But the real terrorists have now escaped from Oyo prison. Are you with me? The real terrorist that was kept in the prison, that was picked up, have now escaped. We don't know where he is. Iskilu, Wakilu. Should we be concerned? Do you know who Iskilu Wakilu is? How many of you remember him? How many people remember Iskilu Wakilu? He's a Fulani man that was based in Ayete community in Ibarapa region of Oyo State. Farmers in Igogon, Oyo State, said fully armed Fulani warrior named Iskilu Wakilu and his Fulani gang have taken over farms in Oyo State. And I saw the governor of Oyo State yesterday still promoting farming in that state. Really? With the insecurity in Oyo State, with over 575 criminals, where we do not know where they are as we speak right now, 575 hardened criminals, plus probably maybe some few innocent Yorubas that have been kept in the prison without taking them to a proper court of justice. Do you know that about 9 NSAS victims of last year are still being kept in the prison in Oyo State as I speak to you today? And about 300 of them are still in Kirikiri. What is going on in Nigeria? Are you concerned, or you are just like, I don't have any problem as long as I'm not too close to where the danger is? You know, there's some people living in Lagos, they're so very comfortable. But there was this man that was killed in Lagos, I think it's going to about 4 weeks ago. He was riding his bicycle until somebody stabbed him. Till date, we don't know who stabbed him. Till date, the person that stabbed him is nowhere to be found, still living among you in Lagos, in Enugu. And as that is happening, the federal government that is meant to provide security have taken all the security apparatus to the southeast, creating genocide, killing all the Igbo in southeast as we speak right now. If you don't know, there's crime against humanity as I speak to you right now, today, 27th 10th 2021, at exactly 6:30 p.m. As I speak to you right now, in Anambra, in Enugu, in every southeast, as I speak right now, the military are committing havoc and nobody's reporting that. Who is concerned living in Nigeria today? How many of you are concerned as a citizen of Nigeria, living in Nigeria, with all the atrocity happening around you? Once again, a very good evening. Let's look at the meaning of jailbreak. An escape from jail is not a movie. If somebody escaped, not because he was free, not because he has served his sentence for the crime that they've committed, they've just been able to be taken out of the country or out of the state, depending on the situation. But the situation that we are discussing, for the benefit of those of you that are not Nigerian, is there is a particular state in Nigeria. Nigeria has 36 states put together in 1914 by Great Britain. And like I was saying on the court today, the foundation of any successful relationship between two individuals is their understanding of each other. My question is, there is no understanding anymore between the southwest, the southeast, and the northern part of the country, because a particular ethnic group known as the Fulanis have now taken over Nigeria and then suppressed the remaining ethnic group. And these are meant to be a minority amongst the majority. So, as my quote today is saying, for any successful relationship, whether it's your boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it's between you and your lecturer, not in Nigeria, where lecturer is trying to sleep with most of the students, not the kind of relationship that you have in Nigeria, that you are driving your vehicle and you are being disrespected by the same security that is meant to protect you. Not the same relationship that your local government do not know how many women are giving birth, how many children are in school and not in school. So, there was a jailbreak in Nigeria. And as we speak right now, almost 600 prisoners are nowhere to be found. As I'm doing this program right now, almost 600 criminals, we don't know where they are. Nobody have an idea where these criminals are as I speak to you right now. Nobody have an idea where these criminals are. Are you concerned? Are you worried? Or are you just... Some of them might be the one that might make havoc for you between your own community, because they will just sleep within the community as people that somebody, a new tenant, and these are criminals. Not every one of them are also meant to be in the prison, but because we have a system in Nigeria that you can just be forgotten in the prison for 5 years and nobody talks about it. If you don't have anybody, if you don't know anybody, you're just a forgotten person. And this evening, that is what we are discussing. Thank you very much. Those of you watching us all the way from Enugu State. Oze Francis, good evening to you. Raji Mohammed, good evening. I say good evening to those of you watching us in Port Harcourt, in Nasarawa, in Sokoto, in Kano, Kaduna. Every part of Nigeria now has become a crime scene. Did you saw that last week? A track was blown apart. Are you concerned? We can no longer travel by air, because a week ago precisely, we were told that the Nigerian government paid about 20 million naira to get back a military anti-aircraft that could have taken down President Muhammadu Buhari's plane should he be traveling to Katsina. Are you concerned as a Nigerian traveling back on Christmas and your plane might be taken down because these terrorists that Lai Mohammed is telling you we should call them bandits now have sophisticated weapons, and one of them have just escaped from the prison jailbreak in Oyo State, southwest of Nigeria. Name Iskilu Wakilu. We don't know where he is. And the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, does not have the power to protect you. You know why? Because the 1999 Constitution has these exclusive lists that do not give him the right to have Amotekun having AK-47, but Amotekun has got what we call Kondo. Why the terrorists in Oyo State are moving around with AK-47 and AK-49 with RPG? I'm not joking. 2 Nigerian aircraft were taken down by the same terrorists in the last 2 years. This year alone, 1 was taken down. Each of those aircraft cost about $1 million. But the government does not want to label them as terrorists, but continue to use palm oil to rub the surface and call them bandits, even though even the Senate have requested that these criminals should be named terrorists. Good evening to you, Israel Abiodun, watching all the way from Lagos. Thank you very much. You can tell me where you're watching from. It helps us to also know the length and breadth of where we're going. Nigeria has become a crime scene. And this government, this APC government that promised you all that we will tackle, Boko Haram, we will make sure. I remember when El Rufai, Littlefinger, during the Jonathan era, was criticizing Jonathan, bashing Jonathan, that what kind of a government is this? We're looking at the exchange rate. How much is dollar to pounds as we speak today? But my focus on the topic this evening is the jailbreak in the Southwest. Is it going to be one-off? Or is it going to be multiple jailbreak? Because what we know is there have been a lot of attempts of jailbreak in the Southeast. And even the Imo State Governor, Uzodinma, has told us that it's got nothing to do with the IPOB, even though the Nigerian government wants to label every atrocity they are committing to the IPOB. Every unknown gunman now is put in as IPOB. Whereas some few weeks ago, we were able to unveil the mask of one of the unknown gunmen in Southeast. It was the DSS. Thank you very much. Watching from United States. Watching from Kwara State. Thank you very much. It just gives me an idea, where people are watching. So that shows that, we are being watched from Milano, Italy. Thank you very much. You can tell me where you're watching from. Good evening, Stephanie Kolakbo. Olariwaju. Good evening. Jailbreak. Southwest of Nigeria. Iskilu, the Fulani terrorist, is nowhere to be found. And the Oyo State governor, even though has come out to release a press statement, cannot come out to tell us that Iskilu is still in their captivity. We still have him. Because if Iskilu has run away, my brothers and sisters, we should all be in problem. Do you know why? Thank you very much, those watching us from Belgium. Good evening to you all. A system working against itself is counterproductive, according to Ibukun Ogofeniti. If Iskilu is the reason why that prison in Oyo State, watching from Senegal, thank you very much. Somebody's also watching us from Oyo State. The focus point this evening is from Oyo State. Somebody's watching us from Ibadan. Thank you very much. Good evening. Those of you on Instagram. We appreciate those of you watching us from Nigeria because it's quite expensive, internet-wise. Watching from Germany, we appreciate. Gunmen attack a jail in Nigeria, Oyo State, late on Friday last week. Freed over 800 inmates by force. The third such major attack this year, prison services said in a statement on Saturday. So while watching all the way from Houston, thank you very much. So last week Friday, there were plans to get Iskilu Wakilu, a Fulani terrorist that have been creating problem that Chief Sunday Igboho was trying to stop. But Kabiyesi said we were telling him to keep quiet. He wasn't listening. Even though the federal government refused to put in adequate resources to protect Nigerians in the southeast, in the southwest, in the northwest, in the northeast. Somebody's watching us all the way from Nairobi, that's Kenya, from Lagos. We have a lot of people watching from Lagos. Is that Iwo or Owo? Where is that? What's part? Is that Owo? Is in watching all the way from Libya? Thank you very much. Are you concerned? Thank you. All the way from Ikorodu. I hope they fixed most of your road network in Ikorodu. The last time I was there, it was terrible. We were going to Ogun State and we have to go through the back road. You know that back road that leads to Ogun State from Ikorodu? It was terrible. That was like 3 years ago. I'm sure they probably haven't fixed it. From California. The prison service said the attackers were heavily harmed. So these are not real, criminals. I mean, just petty minor criminals. Watching from Ogun State, Samuel Idowu, thank you very much. So those that went to release 800 from Oyo State were heavily harmed. Watching from Abuja, the capital city. Thank you. Somebody says I should have come to Nigeria. A lot of people say that all the time. I was in Nigeria for 7 months. The government is a tyrannic government, and there's no doubt about that. We are not in military era. Look, the beauty of military era was you could not say anything. But in this democracy that you are practicing, you're allowed to speak. You're allowed to, to get your views out. And this is why somebody like Lai Mohammed, the information minister, I call him the Liar Mohammed, is the information minister of Nigeria. Watching from Portsmouth in UK. Thank you very much. Watching all the way from Tottenham. Wow. Amazing. That's very close to the football ground. Somebody said Nigeria is gone, no remendable. But Afenifere say we can restructure Nigeria. Somebody's watching from Madrid. Thank you. Nigeria is rotten. The monarch politicians, Clegman, were problem of that country. Coming to Nigeria is not the issue. The problem is government goes, government comes. And we are saying, as the Yorubas that I belong to, that we don't want to be part of this marriage that is not working. This union that has suppressed millions of Omodua and just the Biafrans, the Middle Belt, and even those Hausas have been suppressed by the same Fulani that have now gone to... Do you understand what that means? That a criminal, a terrorist criminal that was kept in a prison in Oyo State is nowhere to be found. So you should be concerned. I should be concerned. So my coming home is not the issue. You at home should be concerned because Wakilu is going to create more havoc for each and every one of you for being tortured, kept in the prison for a very long time. This is
Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
You should be concerned. Every Nigerian today needs to be concerned about Wakilu escaping from a prison in Oyo State and we don't know where he is. And those that came to release him, well, when I say release him, you know that is not the right word. Watching all the way from Canada. Thank you very much. Those that came to release Wakilu, according to what we have last week Friday, were heavily harmed. When we say somebody is heavily harmed, it's the same thing that I've told you, that these individuals, terrorists, Fulani, have the capacity to bring down the Nigerian government aircraft because they have the anti-aircraft and the government have to buy it back through the back door. Do you understand what that means? That a government is buying back the military anti-aircraft so that they do not bring down the president aircraft on his way to Castina. Somebody said there's something behind the prison break. Brother, okay. That's another line of inquiries. Who should we speak to? We can't get access to speak to the governor. We can't access to speak to any one of them. And they're afraid to call the program if they want to tell us the latest update. If you're calling the show, you can call if you're representing Oyo State Governor +442088 +442081332257. Or you can come through the Skype on Starr Radio UK. My engineer, my producer will bring you in if maybe the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, is watching, or any of his commissioner, or maybe Aregbesola Raufo, who is the interior minister, is the one in charge of the prison. And remember, he said last week that prisoners have access to vote. You've not heard that. Pennsylvania, thank you very much. Elijah Bushurat, show me. Thank you for watching all the way from Pennsylvania. We have a lot of people all over the globe. So when somebody say, "Oh, don't come home," it's not about me. I am more scared about you now that Iskilu, a full-blown Fulani terrorist, kept in Oyo prison, is nowhere to be found. We don't know where he is. And we have everybody now going to bed, waking up, going to bed. Where is all these heavily harmed men that came to jailbreak Iskilu and also release about 800 prisoners? We are told about 200 have been, I don't know. How do you recognize somebody that is a prisoner that have just left the prison, in a jailbreak? Is it? I hope they've not picked up random innocent Yorubas in Oyo State, in Ibadan, and now add them to those numbers, because this is what the government does. As I speak to you today, the government have held Omoyele Sowore in Abuja. The rendition and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And Daddy Yatta, as I speak to you right now, 2 years, we don't know where he is. So if you are telling me I shouldn't come home, I am safe in where I am. But are you safe as a Nigerian in Nigeria now that Iskilu, Wakilu, a terrorist, a Fulani terrorist, is nowhere to be found? This is Starr Radio UK.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Let's enjoy this a little bit. Let's enjoy this a little bit more.
Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò egungun ẹja ní. Kíni kan ò gbọdọ̀ ṣe o. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá egungun ẹja ní o. Kíni kan ò gbọdọ̀.
Those of you that do not know the meaning, it says, every Yorubas, we have become a bone stuck in there. Nothing must happen to us. But there's a lot happening to us as I speak to you right now. We are now the capital, the poverty capital of the world. Nigeria is number 1. Number 3, the global terrorism index. When we talk about countries where there's terrorists, out of 195 countries around the globe, Nigeria is number 3. Do you understand what that means? We have crude oil. Number 6 largest crude oil producer. We could not make sure that prisoners kept in the prison do not even have any reason to come out, not to talk about heavily men went there on Friday and released Iskilu, and you are telling me I shouldn't come home. You are more concerned about me. You should start concerning about yourself, because Iskilu is nowhere to be found. We don't know where he is. Iskilu has run away from the jailbreak in Oyo State. That should be your concern, not me. Once again, a very good evening. Some 575 inmates who were all waiting trial. Some of them are just innocent. Some of them are hardened criminals. But the question is, 575 prisoners who were all waiting for trial were missing, while 262 escapees, those that escaped, are since been recaptured. How do you recognize somebody that have just left prison? Is it from their outfit, the way they look? Oh yeah, you, come here. Is it me? No, you come here. You've just escaped from the prison. How does the government of your state knows that those 262, they are now parading to the international community? Is your life safe in Nigeria today? The reason why your life is not safe is because the 1999 Constitution is part of the problem. Once again, this is
broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
We're always broadcasting 24/7 throughout all different platforms. Nigeria never worked for me and my family at all, according to Laiwola there. 1999 Constitution that was cooked together in a military decree enforced on us from the first elected civilian president from 1999, Olusegun Obasanjo. Until date, that constitution has deprived every Nigerian to be the real person you want to be. Is the 1999 Constitution. The 1999 Constitution is the problem. The 1999 Constitution. And until we throw that Constitution away completely, until we break it down. Good evening, thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo Olariwaju. Good evening to all our Biafra brothers and sisters, mothers, uncles. We must not get tired. For those of us that want a total self-determination, and that's our right. The government might not be happy with it. Our politicians might not be pleased with it. Our monarch might not be pleased with it. But it is our right under the United Nations chapter, even under the African Union chapter. So, now that almost 575 prisoners are nowhere to be found, the jail attack in Oyo followed a similar attack in Imo State in April this year, where more than 1,800 prisoners, some of them, like I said, are just innocent, kept in there, labeled as IPOB members, kept in the prison. Nobody's taking them to the to the facility of the court so that they can check them, find out whether they're real criminals, take them back to the prison. But rather, some of them have spent 5 years, 3 years. Those that the DSS just released were telling us that people have been in captive of DSS for more than 8 years. No trial, nothing. That is the Nigeria that you have today. That is the Nigeria that you are promised by the PDP for 16 years and the APC of 6 years. And they are already beating the drum to come back and tell you that again we can do it in 2023. Well, let's hear what this have to say.
And he will not stand up to immoral conduct. Then we justify that particular conduct. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And quite sincerely, the judges too, they have part of the blame, but they don't have all the blame. The problem, I think, like the patriots pointed out a long time ago, is that that Constitution, Decree 24 of 1999, is a diktat. It's a military diktat. Yes. It tells a lie against itself, what you are brandishing as the Constitution of Nigeria. It's an illegitimate instrument. Yes. There's nowhere where we all agreed that that would be
even though it begins with we the people.
No, that's the lie that I'm talking about, and I'm not original here.
It's a fraud.
The patriots have said it, okay, and Ben Wabuse continues.
You hear that? It is a fraud. But majority of Nigerians do not even understand why we are living in poverty, why there's no electricity, why we don't have access to basic things of life, education, healthcare, and the vice president was there some 3 weeks ago talking about energy. 61 years. Obasanjo was there. 16 billion US dollars. We don't know what he's done with it. He cannot audit account and tell us what he has done with it. PDP were there for 16 years. Jonathan, the previous one, and now 6 years is also, and a lot of Nigerians are saying, oh, we can fix it in 2023. Really? With this constitution? Let's hear more.
Say it. I attend meetings on the black table where Ben Wabueze presides. And he will tell you that constitution is a fraud. That we have to jettison it and do an autochthonous constitution for ourselves. So please let us recognize the limitations of the 1999 so-called constitution. We need a constitution which reflects the spirit of the age, which captures our imagination. And that's why I say acquiescence by the generality of the people is what has pretended to lend legitimacy to an otherwise illegitimate instrument.
And that, I'm sure, a lot of you understand why we are saying that the constitution that we have today. Once again, thank you very much to those of you that have joined it. If you're just joining us, it's just 3 minutes before 7 p.m., 27th of October 2021. It is Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'd like to appreciate every single one of you that have joined us. Nigeria digital economy without electricity. Well, they've got this e-naira that the president launched before he flew to Saudi Arabia. I'm sure when he gets to Saudi Arabia, there's electricity everywhere from the airport. But in Nigeria, as you're flying into the Muritala Mohammed Airport, you know that you have arrived in Nigeria because there's no air condition at the airport. Everywhere is very hot, and you keep asking yourself, for how long must all this continue? Thank you very much, those of you watching us from London. Pamileri Lawal, thank you very much. Somebody's watching us from Port Harcourt, from Abidjan. Somebody's literally watching us from Kaduna. Thank you very much, Abiodun from Kaduna. Thank you very much, Oludele Farumi. Yes, no going back, Yoruba Nation. There's no doubt about that. That is the only way out if we really want to say enough is enough. Nigeria is a crime scene, and we must understand that Nigeria, that you love so much, is not going to work. You know why? Because a lot of people that put Nigeria together have done so in their own interest, not literally in the interest of millions of Nigerians. So if anyone out there is telling you that Nigeria is going to work, please tell them that Nigeria, it's not going to work. We're still discussing the jailbreak, but at about 7 p.m. we're going to start looking at some other areas during this program this evening. Once again, let's look at some of these other comment that is coming through. Babatunde Owoshaye says, what we need right now is go and seek help from Russia, North Korea, Israel, because they are not ready to let us go in peace. Oluwasegun says, the God of Israelite is at work. We all know what happened to Pharaoh. Very soon we will see the end of the people behind the problem in this country called Nigeria. Thank you very much. I could spot you there. A very great mother of mine, Mrs. Abby Williams, watching from, I will leave that location for now until we break up the zoo. Abidex, Mr. Koiki, I greet you. Great job. Thank you very much. Yoruba Nation now to save lives, no going back. Annie Bolaji, Oluwasegun, Elisha says, God bless you, is watching all the way from Ofa in Kwara State. And a lot of people are still saying, Saraki should come back. I keep asking myself, are you joking? Sarakida was the governor for 8 years. He left and kept Abdul Fattah there for another 8 years. We now have this one that is running the affairs now. But Saraki was also the Senate president for, I think, about almost 8 years. But go to each of the university in Kwara State, you will realize that the student cannot have access to very basic toilet. Not to talk about the libraries, the environment. So I wonder why some of you still think that people like Saraki, Atiku, Atiku that stole so much during Obasanjo, even Obasanjo said it himself. So I wonder how a lot of Nigerians think, when it comes to some of these corrupt politicians that have kept majority of you in the abject poverty. I still want to play one more from the Constitution because a lot of you do not understand that the Constitution that we are talking about is one of the, the entrapment that is making lives miserable for millions of you, and there's no way you can get it right because the union itself is not working. Let's hear from Tony Nandi.
Crack, I sit here as a statesman, as one involved hands-on for 20 years plus, looking for solutions to these problems that are now, prevalent and manifest everywhere. The cracks are coming from the foundation upon which we're building. The cracks didn't just happen overnight. The cracks came from the wrong foundation upon which we have insisted on building. And if we're discussing 60 years now, looking back at the fact that it was the election of independence that led to Awolowo being sent to prison, and the response to that leading to May 29, 1962 suspension of the constitution of the Western region of the time, leading further to the breakdown of law and order in Western region that became Wild Wild West, which was what the soldiers, Ademoyega, Njogwa and co, came in, young men who were just, looking out for their country. It was that commotion that they tried to come to arrest 6 years into independence. That was what became January 15 of 1966. And then the basic agreement for being in a union got truncated because we became a union because we were going to be a federation. We became a union because we were going to be a federation. The Sadona, we remember in 1953 when the motion for independence was moved, the northern delegation blocked it because they wanted more autonomy. They didn't want to be mixed up with people in such a manner that they would lose their identity, their culture, their control over their own affairs. And so the 8 points of demand that Sadona raised in rejecting that motion for independence in 1953 became the definition of the depth of autonomy.
Come back to that slightly. It's just about 3 minutes past 7 p.m. If you've just joined us, it is Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm your host, Olayomi Koiki. A lot of you know me as Koiki Media, but we're here on Starr Radio UK this evening, and this is what we do every Wednesday, discussing everything Nigeria. It's called Niger Voices. We've been doing this for the last 4 years. As we're moving away from the jailbreak, we've not moved away finally, but we're going to be touching some other areas. And this news have just popped up. Senate committee, 1,000 naira daily feeding allowance for prison inmate. I'm going to read that to you. I want to get your reaction on that. You can call, but not on my mobile. You can call through the studio line. I will allow that to come through on 0208 133 2257. Please do not call my mobile phone. I won't pick that call from there. But if you want to call, you could call through the studio line, or you could come through the route of the Skype, Starr Radio UK, and we will let you come through as well. +2 +44 208 133 2257. If you want to call the studio, please do not call the mobile line. So is 1,000 naira feeding allowance for prison inmate? Remember, 575 of them in Oyo State as vacuum. We don't know where they are. They've become they're gone. Nobody knows where they are. Remember, they haven't got any tags on their legs where we can check them, like track them down. One is right next to you. You just pick him up from me. They've gone in the thin air. Nigeria doesn't have any database. They're probably going to get passport. They're going to go through the Nigerian custom and travel out. Some of them are going to be living next to your own children. Some of you outside the country saying, I've got nothing to do with Nigeria. Just leave me alone. Don't break up Nigeria. Some of these hardened criminals that have been released, you will end up, I don't know. You can finish that up yourself. So let's look at these coming out of Nigeria today. The Senate Committee on Interior today now increased the daily feeding allowance of Nigerian coronation coronational service from his current 450 naira per person. So they were giving them food of, what can you buy with 450 naira? Because I saw that. Have you heard about that? Let me quickly find that video where that actress, I don't know her name, was complaining bitterly about 3 loaves of bread is now almost 1,850 naira. But what I'm reading here says that people in the prison have been fed with 450 naira. They've now increased that to 1,000 naira. Somebody say constitution. Let me read that. Constitution or no constitution, we are no longer going to honor or operate on that fraudulent chains they use to chain people, religion, and territories down. I totally agree with you as well. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK from wherever you're watching us. My name is Olayomi Koiki. So, Senate, hey, good news. Good news. Everybody can now eat 1,000 naira food in Nigeria if you're in a prison. So, do you think that 1,000 naira can feed somebody in Nigeria today? I don't know. I mean, but that's what the senator have said, that they've increased the amount of money that can be given out. I'm looking for that video where she was saying that bread has gone up. All right, let's hear this together. Once again, a very good evening and welcome.
Because you don't make you single bread.
700 around.
It can't be 700.
1,800 for the
1,008 for 3 loaves of bread. 1,800 for 3 loaves of bread. Neko village is calling many of us, so we will soon go back to village. See this bread now that we used to buy 250, 150, it's now 600 naira. It's alright. Because you don't make you single bread.
700 around.
It can't be 700.
1,800.
autonomy, which was acceptable to the North at the time.
Because of the 1999 Constitution. Sorry about that. I think my sound was just about some few seconds behind. But let's hear this from Tony Nandi.
Federalism that became the reason for all of the other things that have now gone wrong. And I was just looking at the video of Senator Adeyeye's lamentations on the floor of the Senate. It is the Constitution we have. I have a copy here too. The Constitution that has emerged, the one that is on the table now, is the aggregation of all of the things that went wrong since this time, since the 60s, almost this last 55 years. So that's how we came. That's how we came to these cracks, building on that foundation that collapsed 6 years into our independence and refusing to listen.
But the thing about that is that,
yes,
in spite of all,
yes,
we've had several constitution drafting committees, different governments, 60s, 70s, 90s,
yes,
and I believe at least many of them headed by civilians.
Yes.
And they said that they had gone round the country.
Yes.
In fact, Justice Nikitobi, when he headed, he said Nigerians opted for 1979 constitution. So many people they give the impression that, look, people had gone round, collated memorandum, and Nigerians opted for that 1979, which there isn't any fundamental difference between 99 and 79 anyway.
Yeah.
So where then lies the problem?
Well, we've been, when you choose to deceive yourself, you begin to reap the kind of outcomes we have now. The problem, which they've been evading, trying to avoid, but they are now face to face with the consequences of that recklessness of refusing to diagnose what the problem is.
Yes, I hope you can still. Yes, the mic is down. We just listened to that clip. That is what we're enjoying just for a few seconds.
Go do it this way or that way. We've been avoiding the diagnosis, the correct diagnosis. The problem is that constitution making is not the business of government. And what has happened, government is like, I'm sure our people can relate with companies and their memo and articles. The memo and articles of the company is the exclusive responsibility of the owners of the company to submit themselves into the enterprise, into what becomes XYZ Limited. And what happened to Nigeria in 1966 was that the managers, because the government is in the position of hired management, the owners of the enterprise are the ones who could have been countries of their own if not for the Union of Nigeria. Let's get that straight. And the discussions that must be had, the process that will lead to having a constitution that can stand, is a discussion between those shareholders of that enterprise called Nigeria. And who are those shareholders? We back up from behind 1960 to see a Western region that had their constitution as their own constitution.
So let me leave that and come back again to the program. Once again, it's still Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world.
The best radio show.
The best radio show in town. Niger Voices every Wednesday. Those that are asking that we should restructure the country, on what basis do you think they're asking that? If somebody say, okay, we understand there's a problem in the country, the union is as a crack. I remember the vice president saying the same thing, that there's a crack in the hole and that could eventually break the country up. But those of you that still believe that we can fix the country, we can rectify the country, give me some of your reasons. If you're watching me right now, if you are those that believe that, look, we understand your point of view. You want self-determination, but it needs to go through the proper channel. You need to contest in an election. Already we know that the constitution is a fraud. If anyone in Nigeria today is still saying that constitution is legitimate, then we need to take you to Aro. Aro is is a psychiatric hospital somewhere in the southwest of Nigeria in Ogun State, because everybody has agreed that that constitution is one of the bases that so many people and the indigenous owner of the land, as Tony Namde was saying there, are trapped. The reason why you cannot have quality education like during the regional government is because that constitution does not give your governors, your politicians in the southwest, in the southeast, in the north, the opportunity to develop yourself and those within. So there's a lot that can be pulled out of it. So, but my question to those of you watching me right now from different part of the globe, if you're still one of those that believe that we can rectify Nigeria, you can pull up your phone, but do not call the mobile phone. You can call the studio line on 0208 133 2257 and let me have your view. You can come through the Skype as well, and that will be on Star Radio UK, where you can also get me your view to let me know whether you think that you can rectify Nigeria. So the Star is the double R Radio UK. So you can come through the Skype or you can just phone in as well. But please do not call. Those of you that have the mobile number, we're not going to pick any calls from the mobile phone this evening because we don't know who is calling. So I might end up pick up a call that is not meant to be. So that's the reason for that. So we'll prefer to take the calls direct from the studio. Or you can just leave your comment and I'll read it out. If you're watching me right now, you're somewhere in America, in Nigeria, and you think that we can rectify Nigeria, just give me in a short sentence what you think can be rectified, what you think can be restructured, what you think can be fixed. Is it trying to amend the fraudulent constitution? Is it trying to look at those that have dominated us, the Fulani ethnic groups, against, look, the Igbo have been so marginalized, just as the Middle Belt, just as also the Yorubas as well. People will say, well, but you've had the Yoruba, president before, the Niger Delta. I think the Jonathan side have had that opportunity. But in the reality of things, when you look at the whole structure, the security architect of the country, Buhari has put everything in the hands of the Fulanis. The Fulanis are meant to be the minority in the country. They are now being put as the majority, as against the union that we started in 1960. Once again, a very good evening and welcome. It's exactly 7:20 and it is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I welcome you all as you are joining. So this is the opportunity for those of you, or some of you that are lost in transit. You don't know where to stand. You're not sure whether, I was reading somebody's comment in one of my posts, on one of my video posts. I go through all the comments, even after 5 days, 7 days, just to get the view, the feedback of what people are writing. And somebody say, what is the policies, or what is the policies of the Yoruba nation? Good evening, Mohammed. Decoy say Buhari is the greatest mistake of all times and Nigeria now. I'm now talking directly to those that believe in Nigeria, whether you're a member of the APC, PDP, AFGA, whichever political party of your choice. Just tell me, what part of Nigeria do you think can be rectified? If you look at the stand, I think the Afenifere, we're having a conversation, they communicate, today, or rather not today, I think it was yesterday that communique came out. And I'm going to tell you what, we all know where they stand in terms of this Nigeria situation. This is what Afenifere says yesterday. state of the nation. Nigerians must renegotiate our staying together, Afenifere. So let's look at where they stand. I'm sure the same thing goes with some of the Igbo elders, and the same goes with the northern part of the country as well. But there is another clip, soundbite, that I'm going to get across now. But before that, how many of you have heard this? How many of you have heard this? Let's hear this. How many of you?
Free Sunday go, free political prisoners, let peace reign. Free Nnamdi Kanu, free Sunday go, free political prisoners, let peace reign. Sunday go, they fight for Odua, Nnamdi Kanu they fight for Biafra, my brother Show they fight for Nigeria. All the people who they fight are still Nigerians, the truthful. Tell me, what thing that they fight for? Not just one thing, and that justice. People believe saying that the country will be the problem. They are tired, they want to exit Nigeria. Others believe saying our leaders will be the problem. They don't get choked for nepotism and corruption. The ruling class are so united, the oppressed people are so divided. That's why they fight separately. Funny enough, that they fight the same enemies. The day all the oppressed people will come together, unite as one and fight their enemies. From that day, our people will get the real justice. That's the day King will deal over for the wicked. You then give terrorists amnesty in the north. You then dance battle dance for my people in the south. Free Nnamdi Kanu, free Sunday go, free political prisoners, let peace reign. Free Nnamdi Kanu, free Sunday go, free political prisoners, let peace reign.
Do you think that was Idris Abdul Karim? I think that's one of his new track. I love it so much. Free Sunday Igboho, free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, free Omoyele Sowore, free all the political prisoners. Do you think Buhari is going to listen to him? Do you think Buhari is going to listen to Abdul Karim? Remember the last one he sang for Obasanjo? Obasanjo was so hungry. Nigeria jaga jaga. Nigeria jaga jaga. Obasanjo almost, if they had opportunity, they would have taken him out. At about 7:30, I will also be playing what one of our brother Al Maruf is telling us in terms of Chief Sunday Igboho that is still being held in Benin Republic. Why? I don't know. I've already seen images of another rice put together, ready to be distributed. What was your reaction when you saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the court? How did you react? Especially maybe those Biafrans. The last time we saw him prior to being kidnapped, don't be deceived by Lai Mohammed, the AGF, the Nigerian government, that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. He was kidnapped. And United Nations is now asking Nigeria and Kenya to say something about how Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, rendition, out of Kenya. A British passport holder was kidnapped. What was your reaction when you eventually saw him? Let's hear part of the clip that we also have this evening on that day when people were denying
access to the court. Even under the military, Nigerians will access the court effectively under the military. But now, in a so-called democracy, to access the court has become a challenge. Even lawyers are not allowed to access the court. We can see the embarrassment going on. Media people are not allowed to access the court. Lawyers are not allowed to access the court. Nigerians are not allowed to access the court in a so-called democracy. People under the military were accessing the court. And you can see the level of impunity in the country. It's unthinkable, it's unbelievable that in a democracy, Nigerians can no longer access the courts. And the whole trial of Nnamdi Kanu is a charade. There's nothing to it. There's really nothing to it. It's sad, it's a parody. Because even if we're not party in democracy, let us pretend that we are.
I don't think this government doesn't want to even pretend. So many shenanigans happen on the trial day of Nnamdi Kanu, and I'm sure If you're watching around the globe, and those of you watching in Nigeria, you will just shake your head and say, we're just in a total, complete mess. It's a chaos in Nigeria, complete chaos. It's coming up to 7:27, and I say good evening and welcome. Once again, please do not call the mobile phone. For those of you that will be watching, we're only taking calls. If you want to call, you can call the studio line 0208-133-2257. At 7:30, like I said, I promised to also play you a clip. Let's go back a little bit more just before 7:30 to hear more from that constitution. That is the problem. And I've given opportunity to those of you that still believe in one Nigeria. Let me read some of your comments. Follow us on Twitter, Star Radio UK. Thank you very much. Sunday Ajibade Dries Fresh says, if you go around the eatery places in the evening, you will see old women ganging around, begging, and they dress well. But I can understand some of them have been reduced to that level. That is the inflation, the poverty that this government have created, rather than empowering a lot of Nigerians, providing opportunity to them. And the same thing goes with the 16 years failure of the PDP. PDP is already drumming again that they want to bring in Atiku and some of these corrupt old politicians, and some of you believe them. Majority of you believe them. I pity a lot of Nigerians back home. Let's hear this.
Emerged as at 1957. Then Eastern region followed right after. And then it was in 1959 that the Northern region came to where they had their own constitutions. There are like 3 countries negotiating how to form some kind of union, like Germany and Portugal and Spain discussing whether they could form European Union. That was the kind of arrangement that Nigeria, was agreed to be. And then from the point in 1966 when the 5 constitutions that defined that union got toppled by the hired management, because government in its 3 arms represent the hired management of the enterprise. The owners of the enterprise are the Yoruba bloc that will be country of 55 million people, the Eastern bloc that will be country of 70 million people. Forget about the divisions that were introduced in 3 days to the declaration of Biafra in 1967. Then the Northern region, that could be country of its own. And so it was in refusing to recognize that that Nigeria ceased to be a federation from the point in 1966 that those 5 constitutions that defined the union up to that time, the federation up to that time, got jettisoned, and we had we began to have by decree a centralized instrument, the unitary instruments that.
So if you follow that conversation, you would understand where those that believe in self-determination are coming from. I mean, the Yorubas, the Southwest is about 55 million, if not more. The Southeast have the numbers. The northern part of the country have the numbers as well. But some concern are, what about the other ethnic groups? We have about 250 ethnic groups put together in 1914 by Great Britain for their own economic reasons. Somebody says, Wale says, seems due to the lucrative offer that was involved, that was why Kenya government connive with the Nigerian government. Shame on them. And that's a big shame. By allowing Nnamdi Kanu to be kidnapped from their country is a very, very, and people are still going to have to pay for that. It's a trial upon trial. Let's come back here again and now hear from Al Maruf, again pleading with the President Patrick Talon, the President of Benin Republic, on why Chief Sunday Igboho needs to be free.
President Talon of Benin Republic, message yìí fún yín ni, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ a ti ń bẹ̀ yín ẹ bá wa release Chief Sunday Olóyè Ìgbòho. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ọmọkùnrin yóò ṣẹ̀ sílùú yín. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ìjọba Nàìjíríà àwọn tó mú gangan wọn ti fi lẹ̀. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí ìjọba Nàìjíríà kó yín sí yọ́yọ́. Torí tó bá di pé international dá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí fáìnì tẹ́ ẹ̀ lérò lẹ́ máa san. Ìjọba Nàìjíríà ò lágbára lórí yín láti sọ pé kẹ́ ẹ múyàn tó fẹ́ transit láti ìlú yín. Ṣé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni kéèyàn gba Kútọ̀nù lọ sílùú mi? Ẹ bá wa release Olóyè Sunday Igboho kó tó di wàhálà. Ẹ bá wa release ẹ kó má lọ di pé intẹ́ expect lẹ́ máa rí. Ẹ bá wa dálẹ̀ ẹjọ́ Ọlọ́run la fi bẹ̀yìn. Ẹ release Chief Sunday Olóyè Igboho fún wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa lọ. Ó ti tó gẹ́ nítorí gbogbo ibi tẹ́ ẹ ń gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí lọ. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó di wàhálà fún yín o. Mo kàn ṣe ládùúrà ní o.
That was our brother there, Al-Maruf. Again, as we continue to plead with the President Patrick Talon, the President of Benin Republic, to allow Chief Sunday Igboho to go. Good evening, Temitapoke. Good evening, Juliet Wanyimi. Welcome to every one of you. We're just about half an hour away before the end of today's program. 29th of October, 2 days from today, it's all going to be happening again. Where? Washington, D.C.
Akọni tó ń jà fitafita kí Yorùbá ó lè kúrò lóko ẹrú ọ̀tá ẹ̀ ó kulẹ̀ jẹ́ ní.
Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally ń pe gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá jákèjádò àgbáńláyé láti wá darapọ̀ fún ìfẹ̀hónúhàn ọjọ́ kan láti kéde àtìlẹ́yìn fún olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho òòṣà ní gbogbo ilẹ̀kílẹ̀ akọni ògúnnágbòǹgbò tí dátọ́ lẹ́nu ìgbín one day peaceful solidarity protest for Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho from illegal detention by Republic of Benin government tó máa wáyé lọ́jọ́ kọkàndínlọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kẹwàá ọdún 2021 ní Benin Republic Embassy tó wà ní 2124 Kulurama Road NW Washington DC lórílẹ̀‐èdè Amẹ́ríkà aago 9 òwúrọ̀ ni yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń bẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè àgbáyé la pè ẹ̀jẹ̀ túyáyá kátúyàyà jáde kákéde àtìlẹ́yìn wa fún májàsọ́lá síjọba Republic of Benin tìmọ́lé lọ́nà ìtọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè fún ìtúsílẹ̀ ká béèrè fún ìdájọ́ òdodo gbẹ̀jà balẹ̀ni lẹ́yìn ní pèsúrò ológìní balẹ̀ni lẹ́yìn yóò gbọdọ̀ ọ̀yà akíkanjú kan ò lé dógún sẹ́ yóò bá sẹ́ látìlẹ́yìn fún ọ̀pọ̀ lẹ́sọ̀fẹ́ yagi lóko ọ̀pọ̀ gírí ẹsẹ̀ ní yẹ̀nà ọ̀pọ̀ ikán ní ìmọ̀lé ọ̀pọ̀ oyin ní safárá ọ̀pọ̀ èrò àsìmágìyàn ìjọ àjùmọ̀jó ní gbáyé kíkanijó ànìkànjó kọ́ni lẹ́sẹ̀ agbóòjọ́ kì í gbájọ́ kẹtì olóyè Sunday Igboho ọ̀dẹ́bẹ̀ ọjọ́ kan ò pọ̀jù láti fílẹ̀ fún lóore wa ẹni tó fara rẹ̀ kalẹ̀ láti síwájú ìjìjàngbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tuntun a lè wà ní àlàáfíà kí ìjínigbé ó lè dàbí sẹ́yìn ìfipábánilòpọ̀ ìfẹ́ranjẹko ìtẹ̀tọ́ ẹni mọ́lẹ̀ lọ́nà ìtọ́ kí gbogbo ẹ̀ ó lè dópin ìjọ àjùmọ̀jó ọ̀gbọ́dọ̀ dídùn nìkan ṣoṣo kọ́rọ̀ wa má dàbí ẹni tó fajá ẹ̀dẹ̀gbà kókò tọ́wá lọ rèé dúró lókèrè tí ń wò rẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ pàdánù olóore rẹ̀ ní o àsùnbàgbé ò ní kàn mí October 29 2021 níwájú Benin Republic Embassy 2124 Kulurama Road NW Washington DC gangan ni aago 9 òwúrọ̀ ni yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá Nation Diaspora Mega Rally endorsed by Yorùbá Self-Determination Group and Media olùkéde ìgbìmọ̀ Tajudeen O Adéjàmíù Alhaji Nunu Banjo ààrẹ àlùmọ́rò Prophet Ayọ̀délé Ológunlolúwa fún àlàyé síwájú sí www.megarally.org tàbí info@megarally.org olóyè Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣá mo fi Ọlọ́run tó lẹ̀ mẹ́rin búra nìkan ò ní sí ọ́.
And that is coming on the 29th of October, which is just about some 72 hours away. If you're in Washington, D.C., it's from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Let us make sure we, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. rather, let us make sure we make ourselves available. Let's go back to that communique that came out from the Pan-Yoruba Social Political Organization, Afenifere, yesterday. This is what they have to say. It is seriously and comprehensively consider the current political trajectory of the country. The meeting was in no doubt that most, if not of the problems bedeviling Nigeria would not have arisen if the original constitution agreed upon by our founding fathers had not been jettisoned. Again, they are still also referring back again to the constitution that we were using, the regional government, until the coup that came in, and we know what eventually happened after that. So my question then is, those that are asking that we should restructure Nigeria also want a total breakaway from Nigeria, but they're thinking we should go back to where we were in 1960. But again, I'm not sure whether these particular government, will be able to do so. Thank you very much, Mamawa Tomilola Agnes, for joining us. Oluwasegun says Igboho is not a criminal, so he will be released ASAP in Jesus' name. Good evening to you, John Bull, and those of you that have joined us. We're just about some 20 minutes away before the end of this program this evening. This time last week, we were broadcasting from outside the studio at the Nigerian High Commission to remember those the federal government killed during the NSAS, saga that took place last year. The Afenifere recalled that during the struggle for independence and the mantra of one Nigeria was being sung, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo insisted that federalism is the only system of government that could sustain Nigeria as a country. Sorry about that. Once again, thank you very much for those of you that are still with us. Like I said, it's just about some 20 minutes to the end of this Wednesday edition of the Niger Voices. We have been consistent in opposing military midwife constitution. Afenifere through Alliance for Democracy AD participated in the 1999 constitution, not because we believe in that constitution, but to let the Southwest stand politically in Nigeria. Is the Southwest still standing politically? Almost the Southeast and the Southwest have been shortchanged by the oligarchy of the Fulani Caliphate that have now become the majority and the stakeholder of Nigeria today. So if you are proud to be a Nigerian, you are being controlled by the Fulani that are now much more believing that they own Nigeria as against the majority that is the Biafra, the Igbo, the Yorubas, and the northern part. The three of them have been shortchanged by the new ethnic group known as the Fulani that have now taken over most part of the country. Don't be deceived by what you are being told by the Nigerian newspaper at home. Most of them cannot say exactly what we are saying, and the only reason is because Lai Mohammed is on top of their case. So this is the part of the communique. That was why we advocate for Sovereignty National Conference, SNC. Although the past administration of Dr. Jonathan Goodluck did a national conference rather than the SNC that we advocated, it is on record that the report of the said confab was never implemented. Jonathan is probably also drumming again, maybe wants to come back. These are all these politicians that believe in one Nigeria and trapped every Nigeria in this fraudulent constitution that you have been using since 1999, imposed on us. Nobody sat down. Not me, not you, not any one of us. It was put together as a military decree. So the reason why you are being punished in every part of Nigeria today is because the military decree knew what they were doing to prepare you for punishment. That is why you are all scared. You are all afraid of being chased by Nigerian DSS. Imagine if Onua, our own Lady K, kept in the DSS dungeon for 114 days with Oladele for just saying on her social media, advising, educating people about the atrocity and the crime against humanity. This government have released more than 20,000 Boko Haram, telling us that they've surrendered. So that means all their crimes is waived. And some of you still believe that, some of us that are speaking from outside the country are trying to create, anarchy, problem in Nigeria. The problem is already in Nigeria because heavily armed terrorists went into the Oyo prison and released Iskilu, another Fulani terrorist. So if you are part of those that think that, somebody like us telling you the problem in Nigeria, that we are now the problems. We are not the problems. The problem is already entangled along the line of the constitution that do not give you access to the basic things of life. Your road network, your education, your healthcare, your welfare, your well-being, your children, those with disability challenges have all been neglected in a society called Nigeria. So if you are those thinking that, we outside Nigeria telling you, look, forget about those Nigerians outside telling you everything is cool. Nothing is cool. Nigeria is literally going into what we would talk about as Lebanon. It's going to be worse than Lebanon. Again, this is still Star Radio UK.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Let's hear my brother again, Idris Abdul Karim.
Free Sunday go, free political prisoners, make peace reign. Free Nnamdi Kanu, free Sunday go, free political prisoners, make peace reign. Sunday go, they fight for Odua, Nnamdi Kanu they fight for Biafra, my brother Show they fight for Nigeria. All the people who they fight are still Nigerians, the truthful. Tell me, what thing that they fight for? Now just one thing, and that justice. People believe saying that the country will be the problem. They are tired, they want to exit Nigeria. Others believe saying our leaders will be the problem. They don't get choked for nepotism and corruption. The ruling class are so united.
The ruling class that are putting on Agbada, just like Buhari, is no longer wearing military uniform as he was doing when the coup took place in 1983 until Babangida kicked him out as well. It's all the plans. We're just about some 15 minutes away, and I still have one last track to bring to you all to listen to. This, I'm sure some of you will remember, was the CSO, the former CSO to the late Sani Abacha, Al Mustafa. Thank you very much, Arishekola Oyekon. Strange, these feelings I am feeling, but Oduduwa Nation we will always believe in. I know many think our faith is in vain. It's not in vain. They might think it's in vain because they are being deceived by the mirage of drums of election coming in the next couple of maybe less than 400 and something days away. So if anyone is telling you that nothing is happening in Nigeria because election is coming, there is a lot of problem. It's just sitting on the keg of gunpowder, just like the new book of Comrade Victor Taiwo, someone that has been fighting. Once again, the next audio coming out now is the voice of the retired Major Al Mustafa. He was the chief security officer of the then Abacha that is also dead with all the stolen wealth, missing all over the world. And you are there looking for just about less than 150 pounds, which is equivalent to what a young mother need during our conversation with me today, to just have a shop where she can sell beat and beat. She's also got a child that has disability challenges. She's not even meant to be working at all. If Nigeria was truly working, Nigeria is meant to be taking care of our welfare and the well-being of that child with disability challenges, as is done around the globe. But rather now, she needs just under 160 pounds because the shop she wants to get is about 120,000 naira. How many Nigerians like that across different parts of the country? And your senators are sitting in the air condition, stolen wealth, are now being prepared to cook you ready for another meal of 2023, and you are ready to dance into that contraction that have entrapped you with that constitution. Let's hear what Ali Mustafa has to tell us in one of these videos I laid my hands on. If you've just joined us, it is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Thank you very much, Abiranki. Shamshidin Oladipupo, good evening. Fumilola Bello, good evening. Shina Yusuf, good evening. If I haven't mentioned your name on Instagram, I say good evening to each and every one of you. We have quite a lot of you out there as well on YouTube. Remember to follow us on Star Radio UK. Olayomi says, so they will still want to conduct election on that fraudulent constitution. A lot of Nigerians want to vote for them, thinking that if a new political party of a Yoruba man becomes the president, it will solve all the problems. Obasanjo was there for 8 years. He couldn't fix Songwater Road. He converted almost everything into the hands of the Fulanese. And we are still suffering for having him as a president. I'm talking about Obasanjo. We are still having him, all the havoc he done while he was the president. He could not stand his feet. Good evening to you. Alhaji Kunle, watching us on YouTube. Bosse Amzad, good evening to you all. Songwater, go there right now. People are languishing in poverty. That is meant to be the industrial hub of Southwest. But rather, everybody's trapped in the system, and people are just waking up every day, waking up, going to bed, giving birth to babies that do not have no hope. It's hopeless. This is Star Radio UK, Niger Voices, every Wednesday. We're just about 12 minutes before I hand over back to my producer. Tomorrow is this property hour, and I'll be joining them again during the morning show at 11 o'clock. The reason why you cannot be who you are is because Nigeria has trapped you within that constitution. Even if you don't want to talk about the 1914 amalgamation, what about the constitution? Paul Theophilos, good evening. Abioye Bukola, good evening. Olawale Walata, good evening to you. John Shegun on Instagram, good evening to you as well. So what we are saying is, some people will say, but if we do not vote, then what happened? What has happened since you have been voting in 1999 as your local government developed? Songwater Road, so bad, I know. Michael Godwill. Since you have been voting in 1999, what changes has happened? People were not allowed to vote in 2019. I was on the ground in Surulere, Aguda area. The Igbos were not allowed to vote. Voting materials were burnt down. And now, because the Biafrans are saying, we will not allow election to hold in November 6th until you release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, unconditional. The federal government wants to put in all the security apparatus that could have been protecting you right into Anambra. But when they were producing that in 2019, that the Igbo were not allowed to vote, who said anything? Everybody kept quiet. But let's hear what a major that is retired has to say.
Instead, what we were busy building up machineries that was to work in containing crisis for Nigeria. We were privileged working with him since Army headquarters to know that since 1972, Nigeria was 12 years old as an independent state. With the discovery of oil and with the performance of General Gowon as head of state, some certain forces came together and said, it would be disheartening to see us serve this same former colony of ours as now subordinates. That was why at that material time, a new program came up on how to do what for Nigeria. And I challenge the academia, I challenge patriots, I challenge leaders to go and search for that document and look at the arrangements of dividing Nigeria, creating crisis in Nigeria, creating differences between Muslims and Christians, creating differences between northerners and southerners, creating differences in Nigeria that will dwarf us. And where such things refuse to work, for causes of insurgency should be invested upon and be promoted, so that Nigeria should remain dwarfed and never to grow. The fear is allow this country to be. We will all be there as subordinates working for them. And no black man should be seen, particularly in West Africa and Nigeria, as a subject should be allowed to go. It's a challenge to the academia, a challenge to the younger ones, a challenge to all patriots and all leaders, old and young, to understand that there is a game that will never allow us to go. We'll be fighting ourselves while they are busy taking what we have. These are some of the things General Abacha went against. General Abacha went against, and he became an enemy to that group outside and to their cronies in Nigeria. Some of them are highly respected elder statesmen. To me, I have seen all what persecution is all about. There is no fear. If you like, carry on tomorrow and chase me out. But remember, you did it 15 years ago while I was in incarceration. Today I'm free like you. You throw a stone, we throw a level.
And that is Ali Mustafa. You throw a stone, I will throw a metal. Good evening to you, Great Yoruba Nation on Instagram. Thank you very much. And it was good to see you the other day at the embassy. So when Nigerians are told out saying, well, we are confused, okay, we've listened to everything you are saying, and others. But as Yoruba, if we do not vote, we're going to lose out. What have you gained since Yoruba have been voting? Frank Abiola, good evening. Princess Adebinkwe, good evening to you all. We're just 7 minutes away before the end of tonight's program. We started with a jailbreak in Oyo State. As I speak right now, 600 criminals and non-criminals, because not every one of them are criminals. Some of them have just been kept in the prison for years without taking them to the court, are nowhere to be found. And the chief security officer, just like he did not know when Chief Sunday Igboho's house was attacked. I'm talking about Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State. Do you know that that same day, or the next day rather, I think the next day, he was in Lagos for the wedding of Fayoshe's son. Good evening to you, Mrs. Ilori Olufunke. 6 minutes before the end of tonight's program, ask yourself, what have you gained from Nigeria? And what do you plan to gain from Nigeria with your age right now? Whatever your age around the world, what do you plan to gain being part of a country that this week the passport of Republic of Congo and Burundi is far better than having a Nigerian passport? And I'm not joking. If you have a Republic of Congo passport and Burundi is far better than having a Nigerian passport. And that is why we are saying referendum is the best option. Allow everyone to decide whether we want a continuity, just as my quote before I go. I'll repeat that quote again. The foundation of any successful relationship, be it your relationship between you and your mother, be it Nigeria with Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa, the Fulanis, and the other ethnic groups, be it you and your lecturer, be it you and anything, is their understanding of each other and the knowledge that they have something in common. What do we have in common? Put together in 1914, what do we have in common? What is it that we have in common that this union must continue? in 2023. You don't have to agree with us, but ask yourself, my age right now, what do I plan to gain being part of Nigeria? Or what have I gained being part of Nigeria today? Not tomorrow, today. Ask yourself that question. 3 minutes before the end of the program, at exactly 1 minute to, I'm going to hand over back to my studio manager. And I'd like to say, Ola says here, I am 33 years old. Until date, I did not gain anything from the Nigerian government. So must he wait for another 33 years before you can gain something out of Nigeria? How many of you are in Nigeria and you are scared to even marry? You are scared to start raising your own family, not the family that you have already brought up from, your own family, having wife, children, rent, schools. How many of you? How many of you wants to end up waiting for somebody abroad to sponsor you for whatever you plan to do? Whether you want to set up a mechanic workshop, you want to set up a salon, there's no electricity, there's just so many problems. But they're telling you that we can fix it. APC is telling you that, PDP is telling you that. They told you the same thing some 6 years ago, some 16 years ago, some 107 years ago, since 1914 amalgamation. And that is why it is right in your hand. It is right in my hand to tell the international community that the crime being committed on a daily basis, the genocide, the union is no longer working, is not holding together anymore. I'm going to end it up here. You be the changer for your own, close friends. Those that I might not be able to reach, you tell them that what is the benefit in it for Nigeria to continue to hold. What is the benefit? What do you want to benefit from being part of a country that is so useless? I'll leave that till next week. Thank you very much once again, and I'm now going to hand over back to my studio producer, and I'm just going to play the last one again. I love it so much, and that is why I play it all the time. I'll be back again same time next week. It is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Join me again next week, Wednesday, where we're going to be bringing you some another edition. On 27th of November, it's going to be a rally in Manchester. But for now, Ikilo, for those of you that knows the meaning. Bye for now.
T-Rain on the mix.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ronú àti sọ́fà kò ti pẹ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ronú àti sọ́fà kò ti pẹ́. Àsìkò tẹ̀wá tí tó bá fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣẹgbọ́. Àsìkò tẹ̀wá tí tó bá fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣẹgbọ́. Lọ́rọ̀ tá a bá dìjọ ìgboro ọdún. Àsìkò tí tó lérò tàgbàtà máa ń dàgbà. Lọ́wọ́ àwọn amúnisìn o. Wọ́n ní sí mọ́tò abáfẹ́mọdé. Ọmọ pẹ̀lú jẹ́bẹ̀ lórí àdúgbò ìdílé. Ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ó tó fọ́kàn nílò nínú. Gbogbo Yorùbá tó bá ń gbọ́ mi lórílẹ̀ ayé pátá. Igi gbogbo ló mọ̀ fún mi lójú bó ṣe máa ń rí. Àtòkèrè ló yẹ kí olójú ti lọ. Ọ̀rọ̀ ni láti gbẹ́sẹ̀rẹ́ láti gbẹ̀ka ìrókò ọ̀gbàgbà. Ìbá ti dàgbà ó dájú yóò pa òye ńlá. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe ń gbọ́ mi àbí kí omi dákẹ́kẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbáfẹ́ àbí ohun àlùkò. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe ń gbọ́ mi àbí kí omi dákẹ́kẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbáfẹ́ àbí ohun àlùkò. Ilé tó bára lóhùn bá kí ìyá jẹ́ wá. Ọmọ pẹ̀lú mo fẹ́ forin fọ́gbà lọ́gbà wáyé. Ìṣọ̀kan òtúmọ̀ làwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ti kó dé. Àbùkù ìwẹ́wọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ káwọn sàǹdẹ̀wọ̀. Ìwọ̀dà lẹ́yìn tí pọ̀ jù ó yẹ ìpìlẹ̀ jáwọ́. Ọ̀dàlẹ̀ òde láti gbọ̀ngàn bí wọ́n tètè ìgbọ́jọ́. Ẹni bá òòrùn ti jẹ́ ẹnu ọmọ Yorùbá kì í kó sí ìmọ̀ rere pẹ̀tẹ́pẹ̀tẹ́ tí mo bá nu nípa ẹni tó bá bá bóyá ti